There's a kind of fear we don't talk about. Not the fear of war or death or loneliness, but the fear of looking around at your boss, your leaders, the ones in charge of your children's future, and realizing they have no idea what they're doing. You see the cracks in their decisions, the lies in their speeches, the incompetence masked by arrogance, and a small, silent voice inside you whispers, "How did these people end up in charge of everything? And worse, why didn't anyone stop them?" This isn't just your fear. It was Dietrich Bonhoeffer's. It was Nietzsche's. It was Machiavelli's. And what they discovered is both terrifying and true. In the cold shadows of Nazi Germany, a young pastor and philosopher named Dietrich Bonhoeffer tried to answer this question. He wasn't interested in evil as much as he was interested in something worse: stupidity. He wrote, "Stupidity is a more dangerous enemy of the good than malice." Why? Because a malicious person can be confronted. Their intentions are clear, their actions are calculated, but the stupid person is unreachable. They are certain, loud, and proud. They spread misinformation not from malice, but from conviction. They believe what they say, and they can't be reasoned with. Bonhoeffer observed a terrifying truth. The more power a person gains in a system designed around control, the less they think for themselves. They stop asking questions. They become echoes of propaganda, mouthpieces of ideology. Stupidity isn't a lack of intelligence. It's the surrender of critical thought, and that's what makes it so dangerous. But here's the painful part. This doesn't happen in a vacuum. These people rise because we let them. Because we're tired. Because we're afraid. Because thinking is hard. Because it's easier to follow a loud voice than a quiet truth. The philosopher Erich Fromm warned of this in Escape from Freedom. He wrote that in modern society, people don't want freedom as much as they want relief. Relief from thinking, from choosing, from responsibility. So we outsource our minds to influencers, to leaders, to algorithms, and we pay the price. Machiavelli understood power better than almost anyone in history. In The Prince, he observed that leaders don't have to be smart, just strategic. He even wrote, "A wise prince must learn how not to be good, because power is not rewarded to those with virtue. It's given to those who can appear virtuous while doing what benefits them most." And here's the twist. The system doesn't filter out the fools. It rewards them. The loud, the shameless, the overconfident, the ones who say, "Only I can fix it." In politics, in business, in social media, confidence beats competence every time. And we fall for it. Because we don't vote with our minds. We vote with our fears. There's a psychological phenomenon known as the Dunning-Kruger effect. In simple terms, the less someone knows, the more confident they are that they know everything. Incompetent people lack the skill to recognize their own incompetence. And competent people, they're full of self-doubt. They question, they hesitate, they listen. Which do you think makes a better leader in the eyes of the masses? Exactly. This isn't just a bug in the system. It is the system. And unless you understand that, you keep asking, why do stupid people they know in power? Stupid. quiet kind of power the world desperately needs.